So today I'm going to talk about the number one thing, the most important thing you need to have in place to get more people's attention. The number one commodity in 2022 and beyond is people's time and attention. They did a study and they said that people's time is less than that of a goldfish. A goldfish is 9 seconds long. I don't know how they were able to determine squirrel. What's squirrel for a goldfish? I don't know. So the most important thing to have in place to get more people's attention, to differentiate yourself, to schedule more qualified meetings and onboard more clients. What is it? It's all about your intention. Your intention. Really, Chaz? Really? Your intention can repel people, or your intention can attract people to you. Give me a yes or an amen in the chat if you agree with that. Your intention changes what you say, it changes how you say it. We all know how repelling it is when someone tries to sell you something, as opposed to giving you an opportunity to buy. Do you want to be sold or do you want to buy? Say yes in the chat if you've ever had someone connect and pitch you. Does that turn you off? Yes. We don't want to be sold. How many of you have ever been to a retail store? A sales clerk walks up to you, you know exactly what's happening, right? You know what they're going to say, right? So the sales clerk walks up to you and says, welcome to How Can I Help You? And what do you say? Just looking, because you don't want to be sold. But the funny thing is you're actually there to buy. So just by someone going there with the intention to sell, it changes what you say and how you say it. Now imagine this. You walk into a retail store, a sales clerk is walking up to you, and you're like, okay, here it goes. And you're already rehearsing in your mind, just looking. What if the sales clerk walked up to you based on the intention to serve, and she already knows, she has some emotional intelligence based on past experiences and conversations, and she's had some training. And so she walks up to you and says, welcome. I'm sure you're here just looking, smile. She just took that away from you. Are you against me saving you 35% or more today? Now, are you more apt to respond to that person? You probably have a smile because she or he just said, you're probably here just looking, and are you against me saving you 35%? Wow, that's a pattern interrupt. Do you see when you have the right intention and you have a technique and you're really looking to serve, your tone and what you say and how you say it, how that changes things? So this, for me, when I went from the intention to sell to intention to serve, I increased my closing percentage. I call it onboarding percentage, but for sake of not going through a whole definition of what onboarding percentage is, it's the same as closing percentage. I just would rather onboard people than close them. Does that make sense? My onboarding percentage went from 30%, just below 30%, to 75% in 30 days. And it's stayed there since then. I'm going to break down the steps of how the intention to serve will change your business and your life. It will make it more fulfilling. Really, Chaz? Really? That's no exaggeration. I had a mentor that instilled this in me in 2016 when I started my business. And he made such an impression on me that when I started my business, I made the intention to serve the first step in my sales process. By the way, intention, if you can't read that, this is my sales process. Intention is number one. Most people don't have their intention. If you talk to a sales trainer, they don't have intention. That changes everything. If you don't have this, you're missing out. Intention to serve. So I also made the intention to serve the foundation. This is the foundation down here for my marketing strategy. Sales process, first step, foundation for my marketing strategy. But a couple years in, I had a low closing percentage. I'm going to explain how I had that closing percentage and how I got it up. I had a low closing percentage one month, and I was wondering what I was doing wrong. Remember, I teach people how to sell. My closing percentage was under 30%. I struggled with imposter syndrome. Seriously, I did. I kept asking myself, what am I doing wrong? Chaz, what do I need to change? Why am I getting these dismal results? I kept asking myself these questions over and over and over again. And then one evening, early in the morning, 3 a.m, I woke up, I sat up, and I'm like, aha. You ever have this? It's like, why can't we have an aha moment like in the day instead of like waking up our sleep? I had that aha moment in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and the answer came to me. This is my brain talking to me. And it said, Chaz, you talk about the intention to serve, but your focus is on how much money you're making. Ouch. Your focus is on how much money you're making. You are looking at your prospects as a step to making your money. Double ouch. Have you ever been made to realize that you're being a hypocrite? Ouch. This is back in 2019. That's when the intention to serve went from a head knowledge to a heart knowledge. I doubled down on my intention with a new passion, and I started to think about all the ways. I'm going to get into the 8 things here coming up of how intention works practically within your business. I doubled down, and this is where it started. I doubled down on my intention with a new passion, and I started to think about all the ways intention to serve looks throughout all of my processes, within my ideology, within my marketing strategy. I started to think about my prospects, those who are interested in my solution, but aren't my clients yet. Okay, that's the definition of a prospect. I thought about, how can I serve these prospects at the highest level? Think about this. Here's an aha moment for you, hopefully. In order to serve your prospects at the highest level, they need to become your client. In order to serve your prospects at the highest level, they need to become your client. To serve them at the highest level, as long as they're a good fit for your business, don't try to sell someone who isn't a good fit, refer them to someone else. This is what I did. I put my focus on my clients or my prospects becoming my clients. I changed my monthly, quarterly, and annual goals from how much money I was going to make to how many new prospects I would serve at the highest level. Remember, you serve a prospect at the highest level, they become your client. You understand? You getting this? Put it in the chat. Yes, I get it, Chaz. Serving a prospect at the highest level means they become your client. Subtle shift. That perspective change in my mind put my focus on serving prospects, becoming my clients, so that I can help them grow their business, as opposed to making a certain amount of money. Let me show you. Boom! We got goal. Here's a goal based on money. Here's a goal based on prospects becoming my clients. Now, the interesting thing is, these dollars and these prospects becoming clients represents the same monetary goal. But taking my shift off the money and putting it on people and serving prospects becoming clients, it changed everything. That subtle shift from I'm going to make blank each month to I'm going to serve a certain amount of prospects at the highest level, meaning they become my clients. I'm going to serve this number. Monetary goal is the same. But since my focus was on serving my prospects becoming my clients, so I can help them burst through obstacles and achieve goals. That's what sales is all about. Helping your prospects become clients and burst through obstacles and achieve goals based on your product, your solution, your service. So does this make sense? Put it in the chat. Yes, this makes sense. Put an aha if you got an aha here. Your intention changes what you say. Your intention, more importantly, changes how you say it. Let me give you a example how powerful this is. Have you ever been ghosted? Was it irritating? Put yes in the chat. Put ghosted in the chat. Was it irritating? What did you do about it? Here's how intention to serve when being ghosted can flip the script, can change the circumstances, can get them to respond to you. I have a client who was just about to onboard a new client. She was actually on Zoom with him. She presented her offer, and the guy, she's like, what do you want to do? She was like, I want to get started. She got 4 digits of his credit card number. He got a call, and it was an emergency. He had to go. And he said, follow up. She followed up and followed up and followed up. And like 8 days later, we had a conversation. She's like, Chaz, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I did. I feel bad. What did I do? He's not responding to me. She had called, she had emailed, she had sent text messages. And so I said, Holly, this is what I do. Remember the intention to serve. Yes, okay. Wow, how does that work here? Why is he not getting back to you? Maybe you did something wrong. So reach out with the understanding that maybe you did something wrong. So how does that conversation sound? What does it look like? Reach out to him, send him a text, say, don't worry about trying to sell him. Just try to understand. So intention is about understanding. Listening is very important, but if you listen and don't understand, it's meaningless. So you want to go, I didn't want to say her name. I said her name. You want to go with the idea and understanding to get some feedback, because obviously something happened after that conversation. So send him a text and say, Bob, I can't remember what the guy's name was. Bob, this is blank. This is Velveeta, Car Velveeta. Don't worry, this is no cheesy pseudonym. This is Velveeta. I'm going to give you a call in a few minutes. I want to apologize. She called, and guess what? He answered. And he answered the phone, and she says, I realized that I probably did something wrong, Bob. And I realize you're probably not wanting to become my client. I just want to get your feedback. I'm not very good at sales. I'm learning through the process. I'm best at delivering my offer. She helped people develop leaders within businesses, and this is what she was talking with him about. And so when she talked about being not good at sales, there's a bond there. He goes, I'm not either. And he goes, she said, would you be open to give me some feedback? He said, yes. And she said, I kind of felt awkward with this. I felt that was kind of a little salesy. And she's like, I totally get it. They ended up talking for half an hour. And guess what? At the end of that conversation, he paid her in full, $5,000. Does that make sense? Say yes in the chat. Intention to serve is about understanding them. And if someone is ghosting you, go with a pattern interrupt. And by the way, here's something real simple you can do. Just send them. This is from Chris Voss, by the way, from the book, Never Split the Difference. You can set, if someone's ghosting you, like this is a unique situation. She was getting credit card, first 4 digits, and then he disappeared. It doesn't matter. If someone's ghosting you, they're ghosting you. You got to get their attention. Just send this message. Are you no longer interested in me solving X problem? Are you no longer interested in talking about this project? Go negative. 92% of the time, people respond within 2 to 5 minutes. Seriously, I do this in my Q&A session with my clients. Chaz, I just thinking about one in particular. The guy's name is Chris. This guy's been ghosting me for 2 weeks. Send the message. Like 3 minutes later, hey, he responded. By the way, if you are where you are with your business and you don't have a predictable way to identify and attract clients, I can help you. And it just starts with getting a sales and marketing analysis. Send me an email, chazhorn@chazhorn.com, first last name at firstlastname.com, and we'll have a 20-minute conversation. I'm not going to pitch you. I'll identify the problem, why it's happening, and I'll show you how to correct it. And if you're interested, we can have a deeper conversation. If not, at least you have that information. This is for business owners only. Send me an email, put sales and marketing analysis in the subject line or direct message. So here's the 8 things that you can do to increase your intention to serve. With the intention to serve, you will do these 8 things. This is not an exhaustive list, by the way. I could go on and on and on. So first and foremost, it changes What you say, it changes how you say this. I'm being redundant on purpose. How many of you have a partner? What's more important to you? What they say or how they say it? Well, Chaz, it's both important. Well, let me give you an example. Let's just say, what do you want, dear? What do you want, dear? What do you want, dear? Okay. So one is the intention to serve and understand. The other's like, irritation. So it changes what you say. It changes how you say it. Tonality and body language is so very important. It changes how you prepare for meetings. So if you're going to go into a meeting and you want to go with the intention to serve, this is the process I go through. I do research. It's very easy to do research. And I find out, oh, look at this guy's wearing a black shirt all the time. I'm going to wear a black shirt. It'll help me connect with them subconsciously. Here's a video. He's a real fast talker. I'm going to be myself because I'm a fast talker. Or he's a slow talker. I'm going to slow down. Because to build rapport that's building trust, you need to match and mirror. Oh, look at this event he just had. Or he has kids that work in his business. I have kids that work in my business. Oh, wow, look at this. He really had a struggle and a challenge back here in 2020. All this information helps you prepare so you can have a good conversation and you begin to build rapport. Rapport is the second step of my process. Nothing happens without rapport. And if you notice, intention to serve, doing research, you can't build rapport if you don't understand their background. And then before going into a conversation, I visualize the conversation. I visualize having a good conversation. I visualize myself asking difficult conversation. I visualize myself addressing the elephant in the room if there is one. You know those awkward things people say, and sometimes you're afraid to address it? You got to address this. This is part of the intention to serve. Is this making sense? Put serve in the chat if it does, all right? You can't build rapport if you don't know and understand the person you're talking with, and nothing happens well without rapport. So do your research. 3, you've got to understand that you have to be in control. Now, I'm not talking about narcissistic authoritarian. I'm talking authority. Here's an example. You need to be in control as an authority, not an authoritarian. If you allow them to control the process, I guarantee it will end up a mess for you and for them. You have to be the authority, not only at delivering your solution, you need to be the authority at taking them through a proven process. Then you're most likely, they will most likely become your client. Remember, you can't serve them at the highest level unless they become your client. So here's an example of what not to do and what to do in this situation. A former prospect who became my client used to respond to a bunch of people with this example message. And I'll read from it. He would get this type of message and tell me, put your hand up or an emoji in the chat. I'm interested in your services. Yay. He's getting this through DM and email. Please send me all of your services, length of engagement, your fees, and desired results. And I'll respond if I'm interested. He was sending this out and sending it out and sending it out and sending it out. He was following up and following up. That's not the intention to serve. They're controlling the process. You see how that's a mess? When you are the authority in your solution and the authority at controlling the process, remember, not authoritarian authority, you'll take them through a certain process. Imagine this. Here's your prospect. Here's you. You are equals, but you are the authority, and it's your job to guide and direct the process. A lot of times people are like, they're equals, but they're down here. They make themselves subservient, and the prospect's like, oh, send me some information. Get back to me. Follow up with me in 30 days. Okay. And you follow up and follow up and follow up. And the more you follow up with someone, the more of an irritation and pest, the more you repel people. My clients pretty much eliminate the need to follow up. So when you are the authority guiding and directing the process, it will change what you say. It will change how you say it. So this is what happened with, by the way, my prospect who became my client, when he reached out to me, he said the exact same message to me. He sent me the message and he said, I'm interested in your services. Please send me all your services. Please send me the fees, the length of engagement, and desired results. You know what I did? And this is being the authority. I sent him a video via a SaaS product. And I said, we'll call the guy Bob, not his real name. I said, Bob, I don't even know if you're a good fit. Pattern interrupt. I'm looking with the intention to serve. I can't serve them at the highest level if I'm not the authority controlling the process. They're most likely become my client. Remember, serve them at the highest level, client. Authority, most likely to become a client. Taking them through the process, most likely to become a client. So I said, I'm not even sure if I can help you. If I can send a lot of information and a lot of it may not even pertain to what your specific need is. This is what I find works best, Bob. How about if we schedule a brief meeting? By the way, when this video ends, it will go directly to my calendar, just 20 minutes. What I find works best is let's have an open dialogue and tell me what's happening, what you've tried in the past, and we can see, I can tell you if I believe I can help, give you kind of like a parameter of how I might be able to help. And if you're interested, and if I think I can help, we can have a more in-depth conversation. If I can't help, I'll refer you to someone else. I refer people to someone else many times, to my competitors. I don't look at people as competitors anymore. Does that make sense? So guess what? This person scheduled a meeting, 20 minutes. We scheduled another meeting, 60 minutes. He paid me in full. Now he is following the same process as not subservient, not equals. Well, they are equals, but the authority controlling the process. Now he's not having to follow up all the time. He's not sending up, following up, sending, following up. His onboarding percentage has gone up 19%, and his sales cycle has reduced by 50%. He's serving his prospects at the highest level because more of them are becoming his clients. Number 4, the intention to serve is about not only being the authority, but taking your prospects through a specific process to uncover a specific problem. Intention, rapport, talking to the decision maker, budget, uncover problem, what is costing them, how it's keeping them from reaching a goal or objective, solve the problem, sell the solution. If you miss one of those steps, your likelihood of them becoming your client is lowered. Your onboarding percentage will become lower. By the way, you should never ever present you just heard me say this, you should never ever present your offer until you have uncovered the problem, what it's costing them, how it's preventing them from reaching a goal or objective, and most importantly, how it affects the decision makers. That's important. Make sure you're talking to a decision maker, because if you're talking to someone who isn't a decision maker, you're wasting your time. So I had 2 partners, and we were in a conversation, and one of the partners said, Chaz, I just want to let you know, beginning of the conversation, we had our 20-minute conversation, and this was our 60-minute strategy call. I just want to let you know we may never make a decision unless we talk it over and mull it over for at least 2 weeks. And so I listened to that, and I thought I'll address this later in the conversation. And so what I did, remember, you can't serve them at the highest level unless you understand the main problem, what it's costing them, how it's preventing them from reaching a goal or objective, and how it's affecting them directly. So I uncovered this problem. Remember, he's like, 2 weeks, we don't make a decision. Then all of a sudden I uncovered this problem. They knew they had it, but when I started uncovering, okay, how long has this been going on? How much time have you spent doing this? And what are the results you're getting? As I dug down and dug down and dug down, remember, it's about understanding. There should be an aha moment for them and an aha moment for you when you take someone through the process as an authority. And as I uncovered this, and they said, Chaz, this could cost us $50,000. And then the partner who said this is going to be 2 weeks, he goes, this bleep, 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 bleep sucks. Guess what? Paid me in full 20 minutes later. Is this making sense? The intention to serve. This is not for a weak backbone. I'm not serving somebody. You're not serving somebody if you allow people to think about things. Now, are there times and instances where they need to think about it or something happens? Yes, but that should be the exception, not the rule. Sales is about helping them burst through obstacles and achieve goals. And you can't help them burst through obstacles and achieve goals if they're not implementing your product in your solution or your consulting. By the way, I can't help you if I'm not talking to you. If you'd like to have a sales and marketing analysis, 20 minutes for business owners only, send me an email, chazhorn@chazhorn.com. First, last name at first, last name. We'll have a brief conversation. I'll identify the problems, why they're happening, and give you a path forward. If I think I can help. If I don't think I can help, I'll refer you to someone else. Send me an email, send me a direct message. The intention to serve takes a backbone. One of my clients, Kim, I love this story. She was meeting with the president, and the president introduced her to her two VPs who are part of the decision process. So she met with the president. She had good rapport with the president. Then all of a sudden she met with the two VPs. So the three of them, well, four of them, president, two VPs, and Kim, my client. The two VPs, Kim didn't get rapport with them. It was a struggle for her. They were very defensive. And halfway through the conversation, they said, I get what you're doing. Tell you what, send me a proposal. We've tried this. I don't think we're interested, but we'll look at your proposal. Remember, never send your proposal. So takes backbone. Kim, remember I talked about earlier about addressing the elephant in the room? And so she said this masterfully. She goes, so you say you've tried this and you've done this. Well, you've been doing this for a year. Why aren't you getting the results you desire? And that was it. She, backbone, addressed it, not in a condescending way, but as an authority. And then the president said, Kim, this is exactly why I brought you in. And when the president spoke up after Kim said that, because she was the authority, she went on to a $2,500 consulting session, and the $10,000 they became client, where she worked with him for another 6 months. Is this making sense? The intention to serve doesn't waste time for you or for them. Don't send a proposal. That's a waste of your time and their time. Review the proposal with them live and address things that you need while on the call. By the way, number 5 is don't waste time by sending a proposal. Another client who used to send out proposals. She had a 3% closing percentage. And she would do this, and corporations, the ones that would respond, here's one in particular, they would respond back. One in particular said, this contract, we need the price lowered 20%. And they redlined a bunch of her things that she had, and they wanted to do it this way. And so this is what she did with this corporation. And she was going through this for 2 years before becoming my client. She reached out to him and said, I want to apologize. I don't think that I'm going to be able to help you. I put this together with the price based on my experience, based on my conversation and understanding your problem, where you want to go, that this is what I believe is the best solution. And, if you changing this, I'm not going to be able to help you. And so I'd rather let you know up front than try to jump through hoops and put a square peg into a round hole. So she had a conversation. She was going with the intention to serve. She was going with humility. After the conversation, guess what? She received the contract with no changes via email. Is that cool? The intention to serve, ask difficult questions. If you present your offer, ask them. Instead of trying to overcome objections, ask them, based on what I presented, is there anything that gives you pause or hesitation from moving forward? That's a difficult question. It will uncover something. Or based on my offer, is there anything that I missed that you hope I would cover? Okay. Those are some good questions that you can ask. Or you can say, based on my offer, already taking them through the process, all the steps in the process, deliver your solution. What's your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10? 1, 0% confidence, and 10 to 100% confidence that I can help you solve your problems with my solution. That's going to let you know real quick. If they're 8 and above, they're going to become a client. All right. Number 7, the intention to serve creates content that's relevant and important to your prospects. If you don't know what that is, do a poll and ask them. If you're in leadership, what's the biggest leadership challenge you face? What type of leadership content would you like to see? Building a healthy culture, having emotional intelligence. Just the simple poll with a simple question. You'll get people from your audience engaging with you. This is why polls on LinkedIn are so good. And it gets them engaging with you. Then you can create content based on the answers they're giving you. Is that cool? So create intention to serve creates content, the intention to serve based on the needs and wants of your target audience. Just ask, poll, make it simple, get people engaging, and you create content around there. It's the simplest thing to do. And number 8, the last thing, this is something fun you can do. The intention to serve is all about making your LinkedIn connections, your first degree connections, your potential prospects engage with you. How do you get them to engage with you? What do you mean, Chaz? Okay, intention to serve, prospects engage. If you want to increase 1,000% people engaging, first degree connections, increase the engagement with your first degree connections by 1,000% and above. Go with the intention to serve, not sell. You don't want to be pitched in DMs. They don't want to be pitched in DMs. Look at your message and think, would I want to get this message? Would I respond to this message? If the answer is no, change it. Reach them based on their motivators and their behaviors. LinkedIn, their profile gives you all that information, and look at their content. Engage on their content before sending them a message. Engage on their content before sending them a connection request. Here's something I do with my first degree connection. If you have your settings set, you'll get notifications for people's birthdays. Is intention to serve just sending them the automated happy birthday message? Everyone sends that. It's meaningless. This is what I do. Every person that I get a birthday notification for, I send this birthday message. It takes me less than 12 seconds. I send them a voice message because you can send a voice message through the LinkedIn app. And I say this, John, this is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Happy birthday. That's it. And below that, I just created this personal birthday message for you with a cake emoji and a streamer emoji. You know, by me doing that, it's fun. And by me doing that, the engagement has been crazy. I've had people that, just a lady last week said, Chaz, I've been meaning to schedule a meeting with you. Give me your calendar link. Chaz, out of the 300 messages I received on my birthday, yours stands out. I like to learn more. I've been looking at your content. Hopefully we can connect and talk. And the hardest thing is for people to get to engage. And so I'm not saying you have to sing a birthday message or song to them. That may not be your personality. Do something that's unique within your personality. You being you will attract the exact right people to you and repel the wrong ones. And when you use your unique personality with the intention to serve, it's a powerful bond.